Okay, readers, today we're going to talk about a strategy to help you really understand what you're reading, and we're going to talk about point of view. And so when we're thinking of the point of view, we want to ask ourselves, who is telling the story? Well, lucky for you, authors give clues, so you can look for clues to try to figure out who is telling the story. Oftentimes, if a narrator is telling the story, the narrator is going to use words like he, she, they, or character names. If the character is telling the story from their point of view, the author will use words like I, me, we, and my. And so we're going to take a look at a couple books that you're familiar with and see if you can guess which point of view the story is being told by. So if we first look at Pinky and Rex and the Bully by James Howe, we kind of look on this page here. Pinky's heart pounded so hard he could feel it in his throat. Why couldn't Kevin just go away? Suddenly, he heard a door open and someone running in his direction. "Stop that! You leave him alone," a voice called out. Pinky recognized it as Mrs. Morgan's. Now his cheeks really burned. It was embarrassing enough to be bullied, but to be saved by an old woman made it even worse. So we can see right here in the text, we see words like he, his, and then characters' names. The author's using the word Pinky, and the author's using the word, character's name, Mrs. Morgan. And so we can ask ourselves to just think about this for a minute. Who is telling this story? If we're looking back at this, the point of view, this is coming from the narrator. And these were some of the clues that James Howe gave us. Now let's look at Happy Like Soccer by Mary Beth Bolts. In Happy Like Soccer, if you remember, the little girl plays on a soccer team that's a little bit far from where she lives. And she lives with her aunt. And she wants her aunt to be able to attend her soccer games, but her aunt is unable because she works. So let's take a look at this book and see if you can figure out who is telling the story. Is it a narrator or one of the characters? And if it's a character, which character? Early every game day, my auntie looks me over good, brushes my hair, rubs my legs with lotion. She says, "Have fun and play hard, Sierra." I smile, but when she hugs me goodbye, I know she can feel me low around the edges. So I'm going to give you a minute. What do you think? Do you think the point of view is from the narrator or from the character? Okay, if you guessed character, you are correct. And let's take a look at some of those clue words we found. My, me, okay, and I. So now that we have these clue words, my, me, and I, and we know that it's being told by the character, which character is telling the story? Is the child, Sierra, telling the story, or is her auntie telling the story? What do you think? If you guessed Sierra, you are correct. And when you look back at the story, you can tell, and you know from listening to the story before, that this story is told from Sierra's point of view. So again, to review, when you are reading, I want you to think of the point of view. Who is telling the story? Is it the narrator, or is it the character? And if you're not sure, try to look for clues to see if you can think about who is telling the story. Thanks for watching.